Hi, everybody. I am just getting myself together because it's been a long week already, and it's only Wednesday, right? I'm going to. Hmm, I think we're gonna have. Can I come into group? Doo-doo-doo. I'm gonna try posting this link in here. Maybe. Um, that's. We may have to do a couple of times so we figure this out all the way, where you may have to just click on that link so I actually can see your name and cute little faces for video within Be Live. So if you see that message over there, go ahead and just click in it, just allowing basically this cute software that I use to show your name to me from Facebook. So hello, happy Wednesday. As you can tell, I'm a little all over the place. I'm really tired. I was up, of course, pretty late watching election coverage, like many of you may have done. I was in another group earlier today, and everyone looked super exhausted. So if you're here and you were up, it's okay if you look a mess. It's going to be a long week. We're not really going to know things for a while. So I know we're all a little bit anxious, including myself. And I'll do my best not to get into the politics of it today, not because I don't want to talk about it here, but because I don't want to get emotional about it, especially with already a lack of sleep. So, if you're just joining me for the first time, hello, I'm Mel Morris. This is Wednesday Woo at 2 with me. So this week, I have actually been talking about spirit and connecting with spirit, even though I snuck it into you, like you sneak in vegetables to get your kids to eat them. This week is about spirit, and the week for me starts on Saturday, as far as social media is concerned. And so Saturday was Samhain, or Halloween. So Samhain is a pagan holiday. It's the origins of Halloween. And so that, to me, even though I didn't time it that way, is like the kind of the most spiritual, sacred holiday, the beginning of the pagan new year. So I started the week talking about Samhain and posting about Samhain, and hopefully, if you celebrate, you had an opportunity to, um, have some quiet time and try and celebrate and connect with your ancestors. Um, and then Monday was Day of the Dead. Dia de los Muertos, if you celebrate that. And so that's another very spirit filled holiday where, again, similar to Samhain, a celebration of your ancestors and, kind of connecting with them as you celebrate with them. And then the rest of this week, every day this week, if you haven't seen them already, you should go check them out. I have been posting meditations to help us, just kind of have some space, have the ability to breathe a little bit this week, and just be a resource for you if you need it to kind of just, again, spend 10 minutes just to yourself, kind of. Each day is a little bit different. Connecting with spirit, we started with, we've done cleansing with water today. It'll be posted, I think, by the time the live is over. Today it's about grounding ourselves, which we definitely, definitely need today. And so I hope that you check them out. So if you're here, let me know you're here. Say hey, pop in the chat. Like I said, you may have to click on this thing that Facebook is being weird about so that I see your comments. So I have been talking about spirit, though I haven't given you specifics to connect with. I do want to show you, because you haven't seen it yet, this beautiful, this is my anchor. If you've been listening to the meditations, this is how, when I'm thinking about spirit, when I'm thinking about connecting with my intuition, um, this is the trinket, the anchor, the item that I use. Isn't she so pretty? I just love looking at her, especially when there's like, I think I'm going to make a little video where there's like a light shining down, and I don't know. I'm not a cinematographer, so we'll see. But that's the trinket that I use to connect with. I always talk to you all about finding ways to remind yourself to connect to these elements. And so, this goddess, this spirit goddess is the one that, again, it's portable. You can carry it with you. You can remind yourself. I have it sitting on my desk for this week. And whenever I do meditation, that I really want to connect more to spirit, she's what I use. So some other things, so we didn't really talk about, like we did with the elements, the idea of spirit and ways to connect, how to connect, where spirit lives within us. So spirit's kind of a big term, right? And I think some people get a little nervous when we're talking about things like spirit. We're talking about our higher purpose. We talk about our connection to the divine, to the universe, to your God or goddess, however you identify your connection to that which is bigger than you, right? It's kind of my definition of spirit. In a more, I would say maybe less woo-woo way, intuition is your spirit. And I wore this shirt. You can't really see. I'm going to stand a little bit so you can see it. But I love this shirt. I got this shirt from Colette Baron Reed's event, but it's don't poo-poo the woo-woo. So I'm all about sorry, I'm being super noisy right now. I'm all about celebrating, right, what we used to kind of be scared about and nervous about, and that idea of woo and things that are crazy and mystical and magical. I'm all about really embracing that, because I feel like we, especially women, have been taught very masculine principles about projecting, using this projective energy versus our kind of natural receptive energy. And so to me, the idea of woo is much more receptive. It's much more being open, again, to that which is bigger than us, whether you understand it or not. There are things in this universe and beyond that we just don't know, right? And every time we learn something new, we learn about how something works, something in nature, something in life. At some point it seemed magical and mystical and a bit woo, but once there's, some rationale or some science behind it, then it's just like the norm, right? So I really am a huge advocate for embracing your woo. And embracing your intuition. And that's specifically what we're going to be moving into, moving forward, is finding ways to really connect with your intuition. So the people that I work with, clients, friends, people at parties that, run into me and are looking for advice, it is about connecting to your intuition, right? We have all the answers to all the questions that we could ever come up with already in our minds. We just have to be quiet and actually listen for those answers within us, right? And so that's intuition to me. That's what spirit is, and connecting with spirit. So, I've told you with the other elements, some of the connections that within, let's say, our chakras. So spirit energy actually gets two, right? So they get the two kind of highest chakras. So our sixth and seventh chakras which are our third eye chakra, and then our crown chakra, which is that connection to the divine. Again, however you interpret the divine, again, that which is bigger than you, right? And so when you think about connecting to spirit, what are some of the ways that we are able to listen to our intuition, to connect to that which is bigger than us, right? For me, a big piece of it is through meditation. And not just meditation for grounding, because, as you can even see in all the videos or all the audios I've created for you this week, you can use meditation with all of the elements for different, different reasons, right? Today's grounding, for example. But ultimately, the meditations are allowing you to create a connection between you and your intuition, your spirit, right? You're tapping into utilizing that energy, connecting to that energy. And the more that we can grasp what that feels like, the more that you can see your intuition being um, your guide, right? Your intuition is something that's always going to push you to be your best, right? So, we haven't really had the conversation too much here. I've had it in a lot of other groups where there's this idea of thoughts. If you think back to the Air Week when I discussed how thinking can often be that double-edged sword, right? Can often be, yes, you're dreaming, you're coming up with all the things that you want to do, but your mind sometimes on its own decides that it wants to think of all the possible tragedies that could befall you, right? And so sometimes our gut and our thinking mind, brain, they call it I want to say the reptile brain, but I feel like there's a catchier name. But our brains from early in our creation and our existence wants to protect us by any means necessary. And sometimes that seems so basic that protection and safety may mean, staying in the bed under the covers. Well, maybe there's time for that, but your intuition, on the other hand, is always giving you incentive, always trying to show you what you could be doing, what more you could be doing with yourself. Your intuition is if you're truly listening to your intuition, it will never lead you astray, right? Things don't always work out in our lives, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't experience them. So when you're thinking about connecting with spirit, I want you to think about ways that you can connect and listen to your intuition, right? So maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's, for me, one thing, music is really helpful for many of us to connect, but something uh, really tribal, really, just very natural, like tribal drumming. I love to hear tribal drumming, right? Sometimes just playing it in the background, just listening to this kind of natural beat, this natural rhythm allows us to just kind of let go of all the other crap that's spinning around and just focus on ourselves. So music, meditation, prayer is, really the kind of epitome for many people of connecting with intuition, of having a conversation, asking for guidance, again, from that which is bigger than us. Right. So there are many ways that you can think about connecting with spirit energy. And what we're going to be moving into after this week is really focusing more on the tarot piece of the work that I do, right? So the coaching that I do, I utilize tarot as a method for helping people to connect with their intuition, right? It's, for me, the tarot isn't about me, pulling cards and telling you what's going to happen in your life, right? I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not a psychic in that way that these cards are giving me a message to give to you. No shade for people that have that ability or do that work, but for me it's much more important for you to make a connection, right? For you to start realizing what your intuition is trying to show you, is pulling out for you. And that's what I use. That's how I use the tarot, right? Each card within the tarot is, of course, I always have a deck nearby. Each card within the tarot has its own kind of general meaning, but what you see in the card is what intuition is guiding you towards, right? And that's what you need to focus on. So, for example, we had the Eight of Cups this week, right? We had the Eight of Cups. I posted on my page about the energy of Eight of Cups. Now, I told you the general meaning of the Eight of Cups, and I told you how I felt. And we pull the Eight of Cups, you may see something very differently, right? The things that you are drawn to are the things that we're going to talk about, right? When we're connecting with intuition. And so I want you this week, especially, to really try to listen, right? The message I guess I'd go with this week with connecting to spirit energy is, as much as you can, is listening, right? Listening to things that aren't as obvious as usual, right? Listen to that small voice in your head, right? Find space to kind of be away from the noise and the crazy and just listen to what your intuition, to what your connection to that which is bigger, listen to what that voice, what that sound is, what those messages are all about, right? Um, I I know that this week is very going to be very difficult for many people. The tension is really high right now, certainly for myself, certainly for many people across the U.S. And beyond. Frankly, this election doesn't just affect us here, but for those of us here, again, it, no matter what happens, right? Tomorrow is going to come, and we have to prepare ourselves to live in that world of whatever tomorrow is, right? Good, bad, or otherwise. We have to find ways for us to continue to be amazing, continue to shine, continue to listen to our own intuition and how to move forward. And so that's what I definitely encourage for all of you. Whether you're watching this now or in the replay, definitely if you've got questions about, how to make more of these connections, how to, you know, try some meditations. Again, I'd love for you to go to the WTF with Mel group and listen to the meditations. There's 3 there now. There'll be 2 more. We're going to go through all of the 5 elements that I use in the FEM method. And there'll be meditations there for that. Listen to them as many times as you need to. They're going to be there. They're going to stay within the group. We'll make a little file for them so you can always return back to them as well. But I really encourage you to just, do what you can to be safe this week, to find some peace this week, to sit and really listen to your intuition this week. So I will randomly be around, I think, this week because I too am taking my own advice and self-reflection and some quiet. And so, but I want to hear from you if you've got questions, if you need help with anything, if you need a shoulder. Don't ever hesitate to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. So stay magical this week, and I'll see you Friday. Bye, everybody.